Good to go.
Perfect. All right. Good morning, everyone. This is the Mayor Manager's meeting for Wednesday, March 16th. In the room with me right now is City Manager Shawn Lewis, City Clerk Stephanie Carlisle, Assistant City Clerk Jake Truscott Reed, and Assistant City Manager Tim Dodd. Mayor Pro Tem Steve Ward should be joining us a few minutes late.
He's
Go
there.
ahead.
Oh, yeah, he's here.
Oh, perfect.
All right. We will start with March 21st. And the first item is a study session on the charter framework and the charter revision project. So I think we've got our consulting attorney that's coming in to do that. And then next, resolutions, regular agenda, Bates Logan Park renovations grant. We're seeking a grant for $500,000 for Bates Logan. And then a resolution establishing city council meeting dates in July. So in discussing this, Tamara and I were thinking that if we did this resolution, that it would just kind of essentially make it official so people could plan for it, to have a meeting on the first first Monday and the last Monday of the month, and then take the intervening off. So and then the next is March 21st, Walk and Wheel public hearing. Scoot down, looks like did the study session have time frame? Sorry, Jane.
Yes, it did.
Okay, great. And so next is going to be strategic plan updates. So we'll also be going over the prioritization that you did on this one. And we are still waiting on one council member for that, but we hope to get it before then. But we're just going to tally the scores as we have them, but not finalize the actual document until you all wrap that up, get it approved, make any last changes. And then Pirates Cove play structure, painting and wrap. Approved letter of support regarding revision to Colorado Liquor Code. And that's for consumption on city right-of-way. And award of OGM to Badger for purchase of meters and encoders. That's for our utilities department. And then the second reading for the WIFIA loan applications, both of those. And I will mention that we did get that posted the night of your meeting because you have to have 7-day postings, but we only posted on the web. And Tamara thinks that's sufficient, but when she finishes her legal analysis, we may find that we have to post it in the newspaper. We don't right now think that that's the case, but if so, we'll let you know and then kick this off to the following meeting. But that will mean that it will have to become a special session if we do that. And then an ordinance accepting DOLA Innovating Housing Strategies Planning Grant for Code Next. Approve ordinance to amend CB10, let's see, regarding marijuana regulations. CB11, approve an ordinance authorizing IGA with RTD for cost share of the trolley. And then approve ordinance regarding PUD 3601 South Huron. And then PUD 3600 South Galapago. And that's it. And I think we've already decided on all of those consent items, right, Jaden?
Yes, but I am seeing a note that DOLA was. I'm thinking DOLA was not supposed to be on consent, and I believe it was. I just want to go up and double check. Would you prefer for that not to be on consent, or?
I think that was 6-1 though, wasn't it? Is it that second reading?
Yes, I believe so, and I can go in and double check the vote count as well.
Yeah, if it's 7-0, we can add it to consent. Otherwise, we'll take that off.
Okay, I thought it was 6-1. So the only other item. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shawn.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the only item that I believe we may not want to have on consent is just the resolution about July. There may be some discussion around that. Mayor Pro Tem, feel any different on that?
I detected council consensus on the subject of the July break.
Okay, we'll keep it on then.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Well, if there are no other questions, comments, concerns, we'll move on to March 28th. The first item, well, these are all study sessions, community safety report, and that will be police. I've talked to, I think, almost every council member about your desires and wishes, and I forwarded those to police command staff. So we'll finalize that. And then fund balance operating reserve policy, or the ratcheting and sliding policy for that. And then we'll have the February 22 financial report, and then study session regarding.
That will be for April 4th.
Oh, good, thank you. So just those 3 items then. And looks like we've scheduled times for the first one, but we need to do ratcheting and sliding. How much time would you want us to put on that for discussion?
My ballpark is 30 minutes on that.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Is that really only a 10-minute presentation, Shawn?
That's what the department submitted.
Okay, all right. So yeah, 30 minutes, and then I would say 5 minutes on that last item.
Perfect.
Easy enough. So April 4th, we have the study session regarding family paid leave, or paid family leave insurance. And I think, is this the one because the state, yes, that's new state law that takes effect in 2023, but we have to opt out if the state accepts our current family medical leave provisions and salary continuation. We could potentially opt out of that. With this whole, we have to do the resolution, or well, eventually we have to do a resolution, but the state has to approve our plan in order to opt out of that. And then resolution on equipment purchase from Bergkamp Incorporated for a pothole patch truck. And then resolution approving walk and wheel plan updates. Resolution authorizing the acquisition of a property for the South Inglewood Flood Reduction Project. You may notice that this has been moved back. We did have some last minute wrangling, but with the opposing counsel, I know legal was working on that. Tamara was quite hard with Maria DeAndre, and I think we've got consensus now, but we did have to move that back out of concern that we wouldn't get there in time. Resolution authorizing possession and use agreement. This is actually changing to acquisition of property. I think the possession and use, we don't have to do that anymore. We're just going to buy it outright. Still on April 4th, a proclamation for Arbor Day, Earth Day, and a motion for professional services agreement with Root Policy Research in the amount of $160,000. And that is for housing assessment. So that's actually, you did the grant, and now this is the contractor that we've selected to do that work, but DOLA will, provide most of that money.
80 of it. Half and half. Okay. You still there, Shawn?
I am, sorry, just reading that item. And then recommendation for change order number 1 with Keeson. And award of a contract to Summers Construction for alley grading and stabilization project for the coming summer. Approved bill for an ordinance approving the annual agreement with Arapahoe County to receive CDBG funds for energy efficiency program. That's an annual consideration of a bill for an ordinance amending.
Sorry.
Amending Ewood Code for festival permit. This is the one that we had the study session on. And then equipment lease purchase through Komatsu Financial for 1 wheel loader. And then equipment lease for backhoe from Caterpillar. Approve an IGA with the city of Sheridan for vehicle maintenance and repair. And that's it.
And I have confirmed regarding the 2 items that are coming forward with leasing, they will have a presentation with them to hopefully answer questions that council raised from the previous meeting.
Okay. How many items did we have on the 4th?
15 is what
You
I,
want to go ahead and assign consent items since we're a little ahead of schedule, or wait?
We could do it now.
Okay. So we have the one study session and then equipment purchase. So this is a purchase. It's a big dollar amount, but consent on that one for the pothole patch truck.
I would say yes on that one. Oh wait, this
Okay.
is a pothole patch truck. Okay. The heavy equipment ones are always like I struggle with. Can't recall. Did we have them all pulled this past Monday or 2 Mondays ago? The equipment.
Yes.
So should
I
that
know
just
that
be
the one that was the lease one did get pulled.
just Steve? How do you feel on this? Do you think we should just keep them off consent just based off of recent history?
That's probably the best idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The heavy equipment ones. I would say just keep them off consent.
In perpetuity.
Well, for now, we'll see. We'll see what happens on Monday night, but or at least on the 4th.
Okay.
They usually come up around this time of year anyway, Shawn, like March, April.
Right.
So, the walking wheel plan. I would say yes to that one for consent.
Okay. And then acquisition of the stormwater pond properties.
I would say no to that one. To both of those.
Two no's on that. And then Arbor Day proclamation, Earth Day proclamation. Special services agreement with Root Policy Research for the housing grant.
These are
This
all
is the
tough.
one that got pulled. The grant
Yeah.
got pulled.
I was gonna say this was 6-1, so I would say no to that one as well.
Oh, oh, okay, yeah, that's the one we're
Well,
checking.
it's just because, just because the fact that the DOLA actually got pulled as well, the professional service I would expect.
Right.
The change order, I would say yes to put it on consent, but I can see that getting pulled as well.
Yeah, we just had exceptional amounts of snow. Although I feel like we say that every year.
Yeah, well,
It's work.
so we'll have another one tomorrow.
Yeah. Alley grading, this is, I think, the same company that we've used in years past for this, but it is a large dollar amount.
I would recommend keeping that off consent.
Yeah.
I think there might be some questions regarding the contractor's performance on that.
All right, and if you can let us know that in advance, that'd be great. Approved bill agreement with Arapahoe CDBG. This is definitely annual.
I would say yes to that one.
I did go back through my notes, and while the DOLA grant was pulled, it was a 7-0 vote. So do you want us to make those corrections?
Yes, please. If
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie.
so DOLA will be a consent item.
Yeah, which then brings us to, there was something on these dates.
Services one.
Yeah. Is that one okay to do as consent as well?
I would say yes as well, just
Okay.
based on the length of this meeting.
Okay, thank you.
And festival permit. I think there was consensus during study session on this one. Move forward. Oh, it's already marked as yes, sorry. And then equipment lease purchase.
Same thing, that's another heavy equipment.
Okay. So the next two are no's. Moving down. Last one, okay, no. And so each year with Sheridan and Greenwood Village and Cherry Hills, we do agreements to maintain their fleet.
I would say yes to that one.
Agreed.
Great. Moving on to April 11th. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
All right, City Center redevelopment update by SKB and Triba. The first study session. Second, review of recommendations and early action plan on the Santa Fe PEL. And then review 2023 revenue expenditure, underlying forecasts and assumptions. Presentation on city payment of city use tax. Yeah, I think we'll hopefully have that on there. And that's it on the 11th for study sessions.
Okay. Do we have
And
times?
then, what's that?
Do we have times for both on those study sessions?
Yeah, we can do that.
The PEL.
SKB 60-minute presentation.
Good God.
Presentation.
Seriously? I can't see a presentation going 60 minutes.
What would you like to
let's
whittle that down
pass
to?
that one just because they're going to be talking to DDA and then I can get a better grasp of how long that presentation is. Or
Okay.
even if, or.
You
Well,
can't see a presentation from SKB going 60 minutes?
Their actual slides, no. Discussion, yes. Like presentation with discussion, yes. But I can't see a 60-minute presentation, super long.
Yeah, we'll pass that along to the department. And then you'll have a better feel after the DDA presentation. Good idea. And then the next one is 15-minute presentation on the Santa Fe Planning Environmental Linkages Study. This is somewhat of a formality in terms of, I mean, it's an important study, but it's something that's required for federal projects.
Yeah, we've had them come up. I don't remember these discussions going super long, but maybe like 20 minutes discussion, I would say.
Yeah, because I guess this is the recommendations coming out of that. So yeah, 20 sounds good. And then the forecast for 2023. Oh, 30-minute presentation. Wow.
Is this coming from Director Lowe?
Yeah, it's coming from finance.
Okay.
She'll be doing
it. How long do you think that might go? Steve, I can't see the discussion being that long. I would think 20 minutes, but.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Jade, maybe you can ask them if that could be just clarification that they were including, if they were including discussion in that 30-minute window. Probably not, but we'll see. Might be a little long on that. And
yes, of course. I'll go ahead.
Great, thank you. And then city use tax. This is the one where directors were all gung-ho about it. And then as we realized that SPR also pays this tax, there's been a little bit of support wane on this. But right now, you know, parks, recreation, public works, utilities, our contractors remit this use tax on our own projects. And so in some ways it's a shell game. But what we've realized is that Littleton pays half of that for all of those massive SPR projects. So the question is, do we just keep paying it ourselves in order to continue collecting all revenue? Or do we just exempt ourselves, or do we exempt all municipalities? So we're having some internal debate. If y'all have thoughts on that, please let me know. And I think that's it. So yeah, that was 10 minutes discussion and presentation.
So Shawn, are you just asking like during our one-on-ones, maybe talk about?
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful. I mean, we'll probably bring all options to you for the meeting, but yeah, if I get a sense that council's kind of leaning in a direction, we might put a little more analysis, but we'll be giving you all options. So if you have thoughts, feel free to let me know. So
it's basically like intercompany transfer, right? Is that what you're saying on? Well, we could talk about it later, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tax that any, you know, like when Swedish does a $90 million tower, they're paying a tremendous amount of use tax on that construction. And we do the same thing when we're putting in, you know, the South Inglewood stormwater system. We're paying, our contractor is remitting a use tax, but we're paying it out of those enterprise funds. And then that use tax is gone, it goes into the general fund, which, you know, The same thing though is for Public Works and Parks, Recreation Library with their big projects. You know, those are general fund, paying the general fund, then going back into operations. I think the pain point came from utilities and SPR who said, this is crazy. You're just driving up the cost of our projects by charging this use tax.
Okay.
Let's see. Are we ready to move to April 18th?
I am.
So we have consideration of Citizen of the Year. Looking at nominations for that. Elevate Inglewood graduation. We'll recognize the folks who are completing that. Small Business Week proclamation, which is May 1st to the 7th. Will be at this meeting. And then consideration of organized garbage and recycling collection initiative. Okay, so did we have a study session on this? Yes, we had a study session on the public comment or public outreach portion. Okay, feel free to give me thoughts on that too. If you wanted a study session before this comes to you for motion. And then we have a CB04 authorizing agreements necessary to complete city ditch project. And that's it on the 18th.
Definitely need a study session on single hauler before it comes forward for a motion.
Got it.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay. Jade or Stephanie, can y'all convey that?
Yep,
Yes.
I'll reach out to Maria and we'll figure out a good time for the study session prior to the 18th.
Thanks. And then we have, are we ready to move on to April 25th?
Yes.
We will have a March financial report for that, and then Inglewood Trolley update and future planning. And then estimated assessment penalty fee. Review preliminary 2023 CIP with City Council and then the boards and commissions. Is that the one that's going to be a joint session with those boards and commissions?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's what we discussed. And then use tax paid by the city of Inglewood. So this would be the, oh no, this is a study session. Okay, that's showing up twice, I think. Oh, that's because I asked Tim to put that on, but the department had already put it on. Sorry about that, Tim.
No worries. I'll get that one off.
Any questions on April 25th? Moving on to May 2nd, we have Public Service Week proclamation, sanitary sewer inspections, contract with ProPipe. And May 9th, we have Code Next update. Moving on to the second page, we have an executive session on May 16th, May 23rd, monthly financial report for April, June 6th, 2 proclamations, Pride and Juneteenth, June 13th, 40 commission interviews, June 20th, review of the operating and staff prioritized capital requests. June 27th, final study session on the proposed revisions to the charter. June 27th, Citizen of the Year. We have a financial report and then the ballot question for proposed routine charter revisions. And then the study session. I think the rest of these are routine after that.
I believe so as well.
I did want to ask Mayor Pro Tem if, we've been doing some analysis on the question of, a tax question for this ballot year that could be on the ballot with the charter if we have any end up with charter revisions. That could be what we've talked about mostly is something for streets and alleys. As you know, we're funding those at about 1.5 million on average, and our street assessment program, which surveyed Cameron every street in the city, said to maintain what we've got, we need to be putting 3 million a year in. So we've done some analysis on what, 1 cent on the sales tax, half a mil to 1 mil on the property tax would generate for that. But we really need to plug that into a study session. But frankly, if y'all don't have any interest in that, we won't bother with that. I
I
think
would say if
Steve,
we're,
oh, go ahead.
I was, sorry, Shawn. I would say if staff wants to consider it, I think obviously it needs to be a study session item and get the weigh in from all the council.
If we have problems that we need to solve and increasing revenue through taxation is the means of solving those problems, then we need to have that discussion, because the discussion ultimately becomes the question of, is this problem big enough for us to solve with a tax increase, or is there another method, or do we just not want to solve the problem? And I'd like to have that discussion both for alleys and for public safety, frankly.
Yeah, and one reason why I think that the alley discussion is becoming more acute is you all have directed me to ask police to tell you their needs. So when we have the crime study session, there are going to be a number of asks that police come to you with to say, based on Senate Bill 77, our police officers are spending far more time doing reports. That could be helped with a couple of civilian positions that are called desk officers. They've got a number of proposals that they're bringing to you. I suspect that could result in a budget amendment that would increase the budget for police, thereby, shrinking the amount of money that we have for, other needs, et cetera. So I do think it's timely to discuss
Okay.
revenue. And then I did take down a council request, but I don't have it in front of me from Monday night.
Really? I didn't have anything.
I may agree with that. You know what? Maybe it was just that we wanted Cultural Arts Commission to review that proposal from MOA, so maybe that wasn't a request.
Yeah, I don't have anything written down.
All right, anyone on staff have any other items?
I had one last little thing that I just wanted to share with you all. In Outlook, I've recently created a mayor manager agenda setting group. And I realized that a lot of the emails that I've been sending with the agenda item sheets have actually been going here. So I'll from here on forward also send it to the direct email links. But if you guys do need access to the old ones, if you scroll down under groups, you should be able to find that in your Outlook. That's the only thing I wanted to share.
Okay.
Nice. I like
Good to know.
organization.
All right.
Anything else from staff? Or Steve, you have anything?
I'm good, thank you.
All
All
right,
good
everyone.
here.
Perfect. All right, everyone. So it's right at 9 o'clock. That concludes our mayor managers meeting. Everyone have a great day.
Thanks,
too.
you too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.